My name's Kathleen Spiller, and I've been attending CrossWinds for about 25 years.
My name is George, and I've been coming to CrossWinds approximately 3 years now.
I always kept small groups an arm's length away. When I was married, I really wanted my husband at the time and I to be in a small group, but he wasn't interested. So when we got divorced, I wasn't brave enough to go to a small group alone. So I just kept small groups at arm's length. I just didn't feel like I would belong, being a single mom. I had a middle schooler, and so if anybody with a middle schooler knows, as parents, we really need prayer when we've got kiddos in middle school. So I felt like it could probably really benefit me to go and connect with other parents.
I have a stepdaughter, and I don't like calling her stepdaughter, but for this I will, right? And then my wife is having my first child, my first biological child. That's a lot for me, right? But in this group of men who've experienced fatherhood 1, 2, 3, 4 times, it's a space for me to say, hey, what am I walking into, right? Tell me how this is gonna play out, bro. I need help with this, you know?
I had a lot of shame around my divorce, and I threw up walls, and I allowed myself to be isolated. And I felt like in order to join a small group, I had to have a perfect life and had to have everything all figured out. So I felt like I probably didn't belong.
It kind of goes back to feeling like you don't belong, like you're somehow different. We're not talking about race, we're not talking about none of that stuff. We're talking about culture, lifestyle, and again, these preconceived notions of CrossWinds. It's just this affluent kind of church for people that are rich folks and stuff like that, right? Walking into it with my own negative self-talk. That thing that says, George, you're not welcome here, you know?
Chris and Andrea Coley had reached out and said that they were starting this small group for parents of middle schoolers. So we would drop our kiddos off Wednesday night for middle school ministry, and then we would stay and do small group together. So it was a great collection of parents. We were all kind of in that same life stage. I decided I needed to try. So I went to the small group and the first night, and I'll never forget, somebody came up to me in the group after and they said, I am so happy you're in our group. And I felt like it was God whispering to me, I see you, you belong, and you are loved.
The small group was like a new space for me. There was a lot of nerves walking into it. However, getting inside of it, having a group leader, Chris, Milder, these folks were, seasoned in these kind of small group sessions, so it was so inviting. And I wanted something different. I wanted something better. I wanted something outside of just showing up on Sunday. And suddenly I just didn't feel as alone in that entire process.
It was so lovely. It was so lovely. I realized that I had created this whole narrative in my head, probably out of fear and shame, like I mentioned. But once I finally decided to just let that go, I was just so embraced by the group, and it was so beautiful.
And then you go find that you're more than welcome here. You go find that all people have always been welcomed here. It's just your own chatter, right? The way that I'm shaped, my tattoos, you typically don't see that here at CrossWinds. And then, like I said, you get there and you're sitting with brothers and folks are opening them up and you're like, man, we are exactly the same, right? Dude, come here, bro, let me hug you, because we're going through the same stuff, man.
So if you're sitting there thinking about small groups and you're not sure, I want to say this. I've been there and I get it, but take a chance and allow people to love you, because Jesus shows us his love through his people.
One thing that I would tell folks about any ambivalence, wanting to join a small group, wanting not to join a small group, not sure should they, I'd say give it a try. I'm confident in the fact that if you give it a try, you'll leave wanting more of it. There are a lot of things that we try in our lives that are not as fruitful, but we try them anyway. That support you're looking for, you'll find. That relationship that you need to build, that the Lord has already ordained, you will walk into. Don't even know it, but you will. The people you pass by on Sundays, you'll find that you have a lot of commonality, a lot of things in common that you can build on. I would encourage everyone to give the small groups a try.
You don't have to have life all figured out. You don't have to have a perfect life or be a perfect parent or in a perfect marriage. Jesus loves you exactly as you are. And you just have to be brave and show up.